Alright, so now to power it. I think that to start, we'll use some of these Stirling engines. Let's just go ahead and make a little bit of room for them. Right here. Right, and we'll just manually tuck in some coal to them right now in a sec. But for the moment, this should be sufficient. And I think we can even automate the process of giving them coal so that we don't have to worry too much about that via a couple of useful tools. So we'll go ahead and just leave ourselves a little bit of room to do that. But we can kick off the main system without that. So what we do want to make sure is that we don't spill, coal all over the place here, or whatever comes up out of this. We want to make sure to actually route it. So I've dug a little channel here, which I think we'll be able to use. If we go ahead and grab some glass out of my pack, we can go like this and just make a whole bunch of this smooth pipe. And we can also make a little bit of, pull out our gold, put these away for a couple minutes. Don't really need those. And we can make a couple pieces of, grab this stuff, a couple pieces of gold pipe, which should be able to help speed things up for us. So let's go like that, and we'll be using that a little bit too. So that should be fairly useful. Now, here's the trick. We need to make sure to get all the power out of this safely and into this quarry, right? And it's going to be a little bit of a tight fit. So I think that the way that we're going to do that is by actually sending the objects out this way. So let's go ahead and grab these things, right? And we'll have them come out like this. The quarries sort of don't mind. Oop, misplaced that. Don't mind. That's, for some reason, surprisingly tricky to place. Any sort of direction that they face out, they just want pipes to output to. So we can go like this. Be frugal with our gold pipes because we need them. And, alright, there we go. So we can go ahead and just lay this out here so we can grab our stones and finish up the roof there. So this should pipe all the way back to the workshop, and we can just kind of keep things neat. Whoa, gosh, that always scares me a little bit. Just having those skulls in the wall. There we go. We'll eventually need to actually make a sorting system in our roof for this, and this processing system, by the way, is, let's see if we put one right here. We can actually go really, really fast by just kind of jumping up and down fast using our, amazing powers, but it's really tedious, so I don't really want to do that. Not at all. Still, it is convenient to do it that way. So we'll be doing that now. So let's go ahead. We just need to set up a little bit of power conversion here. So we go like this, and split this here, and this should give us the wooden pipes we need. Now, these aren't enough. We actually want to carry power. So we'll need to go into our backpack, pull out the redstone, which is, of course, one of the primary power transmitters we have. And let's see, if we just go like this, we can get a bunch of these. We really need 4. And we can just leave these on the ground for a sec. These are extraction power pipes, so these will actually take power out of something and put it into somewhere else. Now, they can't connect to each other, so we have to build one line that's going to go over there. So what we could do is go ahead and set up these like so, and run power here, 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 and then run it over directly to here, like that. Now, we will need to think about how we're going to get a redstone signal down into these guys, so I may dig a little bit more right here, just to kind of, clean things up a bit, but this should be straightforward for us. I'm going to go ahead and put this together, and then we'll kick off the system. Well, so I have been allowing this to run for a while, and success has been limited so far, although we didn't expect a ton from this. Mostly I've been having to run in and catch fuel for it, because it is a fairly expensive machine to run. As you can see, it's sort of ripping through fuel, and there's a lot of material coming out, but the vast majority of it's going to be cobblestone. It also turns out that that was, in fact, the edge out to a desert and beach. So right now we're a little exposed, and I'd like to fix that really quick. Still, it's not too dangerous so long as no enterprising hunters come along, and it's unlikely that they'll fully realize what this place is, even if they were to find it, so we just have to be careful. It's not like it says vampire all over it. Well, it might say vampire all over it. But, so you can see here, with the exception of other stuff, we've been collecting about 25 iron, 3 gold, 11 copper, 12 tin. I can, of course, process that as it stands right now. We've already got, you know, a fair amount of stuff waiting to be cooked. But that's not really what I want to work on right now. The next thing I want to think about, and we may actually, as soon as this is complete, use some of this, is I'd like to think about the process of, well, when that hunter attacked me, there was a strange light that danced on his blade, and I think by research I figured out what it was. It was he's manipulating something called aura, and that's a really interesting proposition for us. I think that perhaps we could maybe use a similar technique. That aura seems like a remarkably flexible and powerful material. I think I may go ahead and close this up really quick. Oops, ouch. And then I'll run over and we'll see if we can try manipulating this aura in a way not dissimilar to the way he was. Although I think we can do it for slightly different purposes, perhaps more constructive for now. So I am a little bit worried about our fuel supply. I just don't have the time to keep running down and mining before we get to our next aura experiment. So I am going to see if I can maybe speed things up just a little bit by grabbing some of these cans. I think I can just run over here and fill them with water. Yes. We should grab some of this coal up here. Can't leave any easily seeable coal lying around. And besides, it's just right above us. It literally falls right down on us. We'll get the rest in a little bit. But we do want to try and make something. So maybe we can start growing our own coal. You can do this via the maturation of bog earth. So let's grab some of these things that we found. So what we can do is make bog earth. If you check this out, it is sort of a stuff where we grow it and then let it mature under sunlight. So we need some sand and some dirt, and then some of these. And if we use water cans, it's much more effective than using a bucket of water. We can actually use other types of capsules as well. We can grow those, but for now, we'll use the tin ones directly. And this is going to be a fair amount, 2 stacks there from that much, which is perfect. How's the weather outside? Is there a zombie somewhere? There must be some nearby. They didn't. No. Ooh. Exciting. We'll have to wait just a little bit, but we can go ahead and plant this in a little bit. And it will eventually mature into Earth. So why don't we just wait a little while, and in the process, let's now turn our thoughts to the aura. So our goal is to harness this curious energy. This energy works off of, as far as I can tell, it works off of a type of vertical potential. So we are going to have to be a little bit careful about how we build this within our current workshop. I may need to actually raise the ceiling a little bit, but for now we can sort of focus on the edge over here and perhaps use this as where we hide the actual height of things, because the height of these machines now will in fact matter, and we may have to dig up significantly to actually reach the area where we want to. So the way that this works in essence, and we need to be a little bit careful about how we use it, but we can show a little brief demo, is that we need to create aura nodes. Well, I should say aura nodes in this sense, not in the Thaumcraft sense, although we will be researching those soon. These are actually pretty simple to make. We just need a block of redstone, and we'll make a few of these. We'll make at least 5 or 6 because we definitely are thinking about that. And then what we need to do is make at least 1 burning aura pump. Now I think this is the right call. We'll need a little bit of iron, and we'll need a little bit of lapis, but I think we have everything that we need for the pumps. There we are. 6 aura nodes. Now, these are essentially conduits for that curious light. At the same time, the light itself seems to settle towards the base of the Earth, almost as if it's trying to be recalled somehow. So let's go ahead and make one of these pumps for now. Now, this pump has a couple different modes, but we do need to be a little bit careful about our initial use of it. So let's see, can we make a cascading smelter? We can. What we'll need to do is actually make some aura crystals. Here's where things get dicey. We don't have a lot of diamonds right now, so we're going to have to be pretty conservative, but I think we can spare 1 diamond to this. So let's go ahead and actually craft these. It's strange, the optical properties seem to cause it to actually crystallize in a different way. So there we go, Aura Crystal. So now we can actually show off the basics, although we want to be extremely frugal with this because we're literally burning diamonds if we ever move this. The power doesn't seem to go, the power doesn't seem to go away per se, but it does get lost upon transmission. So let's just go ahead and show an example, all right? If we were to go like this, right, and then put this up there, you can see it immediately sets up a resonance there. Now, this device, this burning aura pump, actually takes this power. So now it's trying to push up, but it has no aura in it. It simply is a conduit that's attempting to push it away from the center of the Earth. Right-clicking just one of these, and we'll be careful here. If we just toss that on, you can see now that actually the aura is getting pushed up into the sky. It pushes it up at a rate that's proportional to the amount of aura going up and the distance up there. Now, this system doesn't do very much because it's just going to push aura up into the sky. Now, if we were to take our setup here, and let's actually make a block that uses it, like so, right? And then pull this and then surround this with aura crystals, like so. And then create a path. So let's first go like this, right? So now this is an aura path that gets connected. And this is a path there that allows things to flow. And now what we need to do is raise this up in the air, and then power is generated and the falling, in the stopping, in the dropping of this. As power falls through and into this node, it then will actually power this device. So boom, there we go. And so now we've actually got power, and you can see that progress is growing on this. So let's grab some cobblestone. You can never have too much smooth stone in the world. And as you can see, it's actually going to start cooking it. We don't need very much power in the system for this to actually be fairly effective. We've only used a little bit so far, but this system already will start to cook things. But this is a very, very naive and perhaps inefficient application. We'll find that we won't actually get really terrific use of our coal, although perhaps we should experiment and see. One coal will make 8 cooked items. So perhaps I'll allow this system to peter out, and then we can do a quick test to see how much this particular system can actually do with a single smelt. Alright, let's do a little test. So we got all the white aura down here in this pump. It's all been locked up. It's going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks and then come back down. So it's going to fall 4 blocks, and that generates the power. So we're going to grab one single coal and a whole stack of these things. So let's go ahead and toss this on the ground, and then we'll toss that over by the pump. And now we'll have to see, how far it actually goes. So I'm just going to sit here and just kind of watch it for a sec. We can see if we get closer that we're actually starting to gain power, which is good. There we go. Now we're starting to make some progress. Well, I ran out and did some chores while I waited for this, specifically planted most, if not all, of the bog earth. And we'll check on it at the next sunfall. But so here we are, 300 seconds of power from one coal. And we actually smelted 38 objects with one coal, with this tiny setup, right? The cool thing is, too, is that this device actually had some power left over. Even after this stopped, it kept going. So this could be really, really efficient. In fact, it's kind of excitingly so. The most interesting part about it, though, is that you have to be a little bit careful with it because, for one, when we break these nodes, we'll lose all the ore stored in them, which is from diamonds. We don't have many of those. Second of all, when you do break the machines, you lose their progress. So again, inefficiencies. Third of all, the machines are only on for a limited amount of time. So that basically the amount of power that you can generate is difficult to store. It has to be on. It has a finite lifespan, and that you have to kind of be careful about the efficiency involved. But I think that we could probably use this system as opposed to our massive wall of these like furnaces, because it's just way, way, way more efficient. Now, we'll have to be a little bit careful about this because we do want to be sensitive to the fact that we don't want this running all the time. So I wonder if we could find some sort of way to render this particular part of it more efficient, and then we're going to go on to the next thing, because I have, in my experimentations, ooh, look, a shard's coming in. Have we done anything interesting yet? Honestly, a lot of garbage in this run. Well, that's the worst. We do have another stack of coal, and as long as we keep ending up with lots of fuel, we're more okay. And we can definitely start to process this. We do have, let's see, what's in here? Oh, we've got almost a stack of copper, Haven't found any more gold yet, but we did find some lead and silver, so that's not bad. We're doing okay on fuel out here, and we're very close to the bottom of the world. I could jump down there, but it's more about getting out that's a pain than anything else. But I think that probably what we'll do is we'll extend a small doorway out there and then proceed to start mining the ocean, where it will be a little bit less obvious what we're doing. Power is going to be our big concern. This can actually, I think, with the right experimentation, it can actually power things. So that's, exciting. Anyways, the best part about this system is that it was fairly efficient once laid down. We only needed one or two real crystals of power in this system to actually store that. So the amount of aura latent in the system is its maximum storage, not necessarily its maximum throughput, which is kind of nice. So why don't we go ahead and accept the inefficiencies involved. We also should probably at least get a few of these things out of our inventory for the moment. And we'll talk about what these two things are in just a moment. And let's go ahead and move this stuff over there.